Hey everyone, welcome to Uptown
Woo!
Mommies,
Yes, episode
episode 6.
6. Look at us, we doing it.
Yes, I'm here recording a day in the life and the podcast.
Nice.
Um, yeah,
Multitasking. We love a multitasking
multitasking.
mommy.
We just want to say that this is like maybe our fourth time filming this episode because it
Yes.
kept like getting deleted or cutting off,
Mhm.
and yeah, but we're trying again. This time I'm trying with my iPad. iPad.
We're trying. And quick
Yes.
shout out to ourselves because we're doing this on our own. Like I think people don't realize that the recording, like the scripts, the marketing, the social, everything we're doing on our own. The only thing that we're
Yes.
not doing is because we haven't even, you know, it's the editing part of it because that's just like such a tricky thing. So it's like we have one of our producers, shout out Matt. Um, he's been
Wow.
editing for us, so super helpful. But honestly, everything else has been us, just us.
Yes.
So
So give us
here we
grace.
are. Yes, give us grace. Give us grace. This is the fourth time in 2 days.
Yes.
Uh, but let's get right into it. I have my cafecito. Let's catch up.
Same.
Let's go. Shout out Nespresso. I have my Nespresso machine and I'm always
Oh,
making my little
nice.
cafecito. So
You have
shout out
to
to
one day
them.
give me a tutorial on that because that sounds just so super complicated.
No, I've had my Nespresso machine for the last six, no, more, like 7 years. I got it
Oh,
when I lived
yeah.
in Atlanta for my quick Atlanta time, my year in Atlanta. I got it in Atlanta and it has been so good. Like, knock on wood, like, I haven't had an issue with it in the last few years. It
hmm
saves me money, like if I don't want to have to go and grab thing like coffee. Um, but yeah, it's such a easy, different flavors. It's so good.
Yes, you have
Nespresso,
to.
sponsor us, okay?
Yes, I want to try it because fun fact, I have not. I do like the
Okay.
whole mushroom coffee, but
Yes, me
yeah,
too. Yeah.
yes,
Next time you come over, I'll give you a whole tutorial and we'll actually record it and put it
sounds
up for
good.
those who are interested in an espresso. But wait till they
Yes,
give us a code before you start shopping.
yes.
Okay, so
So how was
cafecito.
your
Let's go.
weekend?
Let's go.
So,
My week. Sorry, we're literally
mm,
super. I don't know if it's the caffeine or the fact that
I think it
we're
is.
trying to make sure that that this thing works. Um, no, my week has been good. Last week my entire family, it was like 21 of us, went to Mexico. This is why I'm literally look like a snake right now and I'm peeling. We spent 4 days in Mexico, like super tuned out, super disconnected, like it was good. It was needed, and it was nice to be able to, like, lock away all the tablets and the cell phones, and everybody was just, like, present. So it's funny, like, my sisters, we were just talking about how we didn't even take pictures. Like, if I took a few pictures on my Meta glasses, it was a lot, but, like, once we were in the pool, like, I took them off, and when I tell you, no pictures. It was just, like, everybody just had such a good time and being present, so that was my week. But
That sounds
I'm
like fun.
yeah, it was good. And we little all inclusive in Cancun. Nice time to not like have to cook or clean, but
Yes.
when you're traveling with kids, is it a
It's
vacation?
never a vacation, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
nice to
not a
get away.
vacation. It is nice. It was nice. The weather was beautiful. It was really hot. But tell me about your week. How was it? How was your week?
So, what was my week? It was such a blur, but it was just me like just getting back to life. Yeah, just decided to take it easy after losing my friend.
Hmm.
And I just went with the wind and just no
As you
plans, no
should.
calendar, no nothing. And yeah,
As you
and
should.
now I'm back to reality, just hustling, hustling.
The
Yeah.
hustle never stops. The hustle never
It
stops.
doesn't. It doesn't. The amount of shit I did today was crazy. And it's only what, 11 o'clock?
I know. Oh my
It's
gosh. That's so
crazy.
true. Same. I'm like, I got up, I worked out, um, went to the Social Security office, they came back to record. And I'm like, it's not even 12 o'clock yet. Like, it's
Yeah.
wild. I think it's wild how much we do sometimes. And then we don't give ourselves grace. And we're like, oh my God, we
Mhm.
haven't done anything. La casa está sucia. Tengo que hacer esto. Tengo que hacer lo otro. And then we got to take a step back and be like, We did so much before noon. Like, chill out, mommy.
And
Chill
especially
out.
when you put your phone away, because when you text me, I had no idea that
Yes.
you text me because my phone was, like, in another room, and I was like, "I need to get shit done."
Mm-hmm.
And that was the way I was able to do so much this morning. I worked out as well, and
Yes,
I'm
getting
here.
fit. El verano
Yes,
viene. El verano
exactly. We gotta get
viene.
summer right.
All right, well, let's jump right into our topic. We had our cafecitos. Today's topic is when grief finds you. We talked a little bit about grief, in our last episode. If you haven't listened to it, go and listen on all podcast stations. But today is literally like navigating your own loss, like as a mom or as a parent or as a dad. Like, what did you lose? Like, what are you grieving as like a woman? Right? Once you became pregnant or after postpartum or during pregnancy also. I think we also don't talk about that. Like
Yeah.
during those months when you're pregnant and you're kinda, like, in the house, especially towards the end when you don't even wanna move because you're so big and you have to pee every 5 minutes. But yeah, like, tell me, like, nobody teaches us, right? Like, how to grieve, so, I'm curious on how it was for you.
So for me, what I was grieving, especially when I had my second child, it was my own time. I just being
Mm,
on my own time. It happened with my first child, but when I had two, now I had two different humans that needed me at different moments.
mm,
Also,
yeah,
being a wife, being a daughter, being a sister, being a friend. So I felt like my time was just not mine.
mm,
Sometimes it feels like that. Though I said I got a lot of things done today, it's because I'm alone and my kids are now in school. So I'm able
yeah,
to do more. And I think that's where I want to say it does get better because you do end up once they're in school, you do end up getting that time back and you get to go to the gym. Francesca and I were talking about this with my sister and husband,
mhm,
how and I don't think they quite understood, but I understood Francesca, how having a small kid, like, you don't have time to go to the gym and spend the
yeah,
hour. And
yeah.
still now, I'm still like, "Why are we in here? It's been an hour and a half. Why are we still in here?" Because you have so much going on and you just wanna make the most out of your time, so
Mhm,
I guess
that's so
that
true.
that's what it was, and the whole, like, traveling spontaneously.
Yeah, I think, I'm aligned with everything you said. I feel like when you have a toddler, you can't just be like, "All right, be right back, kid. I'm gonna go to the gym." So, honestly, having a Peloton at home, which, we bought during COVID, which honestly was such a big help, especially during COVID and just having it, like, it's very easy for me to, like, wake up, before the house wakes up and for me to work out and have that. But
Mhm.
it is still nice to be able to go outside and actually work out outside. I think that's
Yeah.
one of the things that I miss, like, pre-baby, like, I used to, like, when after work, I used to have, like, a yoga class or, like, a dance class or, like, a spin class. Um, so I miss having, like, my time. I miss being selfish. I think that's, like, the biggest thing, and I think
Yeah.
that's what it comes down to it. I miss
Like
being
waking up when you want
selfish.
to
Yes.
and eating when you want to,
Being able to go
eating the
grab
foods you
lunch.
want.
Yes, when it's hot too. Like, I wanna be able to eat,
Yeah.
like, my meal when it's hot. I miss being able to, like, go to lunch or I even after like, for dinner, like, being like, "Oh, I'm gonna go into the city and go have sushi or doing this." Like, I before it was just so easy to do and get up and go on my way that now I'm like, "Oh, there's such." I wanna say we have to go through so many things just to get to that point, and by the time we get to that point, we're exhausted. Like, we need to make sure that, "Oh, can he stay with the baby or do is my mom gonna be able to stay with the baby? Can we do this? Can I do that?" And then you have kinda like that mommy
Or
guilt
what's
that creeps
happening
in.
tomorrow because you have to
Yes.
prepare for tomorrow
You
too.
have to prepare for it tomorrow. You have to prepare for the end of the night. And be like, "Oh my god, like, I'm gonna miss putting him to sleep." Mommy guilt starts, like, being like, "Meh, meh, 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 meh," like, "You're not a good mom." Um, so it's like those little things, and then by the
Yeah.
time you're done arguing with yourself in your head, you're
You
like,
don't wanna go
"Okay, I don't wanna
anywhere.
go anywhere." And then you're
Yeah.
like, "I don't know what to wear, like, I don't know what's cool." Like, I'm like every time that I have to go out, I'm always, like, trying on so many different clothes, and then your body changes, right? So you're like, "Oh." I remember when I used to have a flat stomach and I used to be able to wear, like, a little cute top with jeans. I
Yeah,
can't I'm not
crop
doing that
tops
right
all out
now.
the window.
All out the window.
Same.
So it's like it's so weird, you lose yourself and you're just like, "Oh my god, like, I what happened? I was so cool. What happened?" So I feel like that. I've missed the selflessness. I miss the like how dope I thought I was. Um, I just miss certain aspects of myself and then just being super selfish. I miss being
Mhm.
selfish, man, but it's
And
okay.
the crazy thing is that people from the outside would look at us and they'll be like, "You're that girl. You're this and that." But and coming from the inside,
Mhm.
it doesn't feel that way
It doesn't.
for a long time. Like you
Yeah.
slowly start to get it. I feel like for me, when my son was 3, I started feeling like myself again, and then I got pregnant again. So it
Mhm.
was a good 6 years before I started, like, feeling like myself a little
Ooh,
bit.
that's
Yeah.
wild. You're like, "Damn, I was just getting my little pink bag," and then you're like,
Mhm.
"Oh, there we go."
Yep.
Yeah, no,
So
I feel like it's so true. People see us and they're like, "Oh my god, you guys are doing so much. Oh my god, you're working here. Oh my gosh, you I see you. I see you on Instagram, girl. You guys are always traveling. You guys are always doing this. You're doing it as a mom." And I'm like,
mhm.
"Barely." I'm like,
Hanging on by a
"Barely."
thread.
Hanging on by a thread. And then I tell people the truth. I'm like, "This shit is hard. Like, I'm exhausted." And then you have
It is
our
hard.
parents are like, yo cuando tenía tu edad, ya yo tenía 3 niños, ya yo estaba casada." Like, and
Yeah,
you're
I
like,
don't know how.
don't know how my mom did it.
Yeah.
I
My
don't
mom
know how
had
people
3
do it.
by 32,
Oh my
5th
god.
floor
It
walk
was
up.
yeah. Like, it's wild. Like, my mom had us young too. Like, I was looking for my birth certificate. 'Cause, we're talking, I had to go get my, like, social because I had no idea where it was, and on the social, like, on my birth certificate, it says, like, mother, and then it said
Mhm.
age, 24. I was the 2nd one. So, I was like, "Oh my god," like, mommy had us. She had Taisha, and then she had me, and she was 24. Like, my d mom was 24, my dad was 25. So, basically, before 30, she had 3 kids.
Mhm.
Mind you,
And
before,
when
like,
you yeah.
26, 27. So, I'm like, I was living my best life at that age.
Exactly, you think about because 'cause I'm like, "There is no way, no way."
No way I would have been able to have 3 kids at 27. No way. I was living my best life. I was not
It's
trying to have kids.
crazy.
It's so wild, but I think it's just a testament of how strong our parents are, especially, like, our moms. I don't think they get as much credit, right? Because I feel like in our Latino community, um, the mom is always like, "Oh, no." They're like the string that holds everybody together, right? They're like the ones que están they're cooking, they're cleaning, they're like,
Mhm.
being like the caregiver. They're making sure
And
that,
even taking care of their own parents at the same
yes,
time.
taking care of their own parents. That's another thing. Like, we were taught, like, you take care of your parents. Like, my mom took care of her parents so they passed away, like, legit to the
Mhm.
moment, like, my grandmother took her last breath, while still raising a family, while still going through her own stuff mentally, because you're seeing your parents kind of disintegrate, right, in front of your
Yeah,
eyes when you're taking care of them and they're getting older, and that mental toll takes it's so, like, it's crazy, like, I can't even explain it. That
yeah,
mental load is insane, so imagine that.
it is
So,
insane.
kudos to our moms who do every day y no se quejan. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, they never say it because they weren't taught to speak out. They weren't taught to say, "I feel stressed. I feel
yeah.
anxious. I don't feel happy." They weren't
Mhm.
taught to do that. They were just like, "You know what?
I think it
You te
also was
queda
that
calladita."
generation. Yeah, that
Yes.
generation of, like, that, being Dominican, like, you think
Yes.
about the Trujillo days, people were afraid to talk.
Wild.
So, I feel like
Yes.
they carry that. They don't talk about their feelings, they don't talk about mental health. Eso no se dice, eso no se habla,
Calladita
and I think
te ves más bonita. Like, that's such a
exactly.
saying we grew up with. Calladita te ves más bonita.
Y
That says it all.
trágatelo.
Trágatelo.
Mhm.
¿Tú quieres llorar?
Yeah, like, there's no crying.
Yeah, there's no
There's no
crying.
crying in front of people.
Like, I
Mhm.
remember there was, like, when my little sister was pregnant, she was like the first one that was pregnant out of all of us. My mom literally told her while she was giving birth, she was like, before she gave birth, she was like, when you're in the hospital, she was like, no te ponga a llorar, no te ponga a hacer bulla. She was like, tú coge ese parto como una mujer y tú te callas. Literally, she did that. My sister, when she gave birth, I was in the room with her, like both of my sisters. Me and my older sister were in the
Mhm.
room with my little sister, and my little sister literally pushed out that 9-pound child, something child, at like she was like 20, I want to say,
Mhm.
and she did not say a peep. My sister literally
That's
did not
crazy.
scream, did not say anything, did not say a peep. And then when she brings that up to this day, she's like, and we were like, oh my God, Booby, like you literally pushed him out without like just did not scream, did not do anything. Mind you, childbirth is painful.
Yeah.
And she did not do anything. She was like, oh, because mommy told me. And I'm like, in my head, this was many years ago. But I think about it now, like my own childbirth, where I did it at
Yeah.
home and I was out here like, I was like, "I don't care, I'm screaming, I am
Yeah. It
going through
hurts.
the" yeah, I'm going
It
through the
hurts.
pain, I'm over here literally breaking combs, like, I was in the middle of my sala giving birth to my child, and I was making sure that I was literally loud as hell. I did not care.
Yeah.
But I created that space, like that safe space for me. But my little sister, who like my mom instilled that in her, like, tú no vas a hacer nada. Tú te vas a quedar callada y lo vas a aguantar como una mujer. And it's wild that she did that. But again, that's like the mentality, right? Like we're
Yes.
not allowed to feel like pain. We're just like, tú te lo traga and you keep it moving.
I can almost relate to your sister in a sense of just when I'm angry, like for
Hmm.
example, like, with my friend passing, there were times that I was so angry and I'm like, I need
Hmm.
to scream. And my husband's like, take a pillow, scream into the pillow. And I'm like, I don't know how to scream. Like I explain this to people and I think
Yeah.
some people understand me, but I don't know how to scream because I've always been the one to hold things in and it's not
Yeah.
healthy
It's not,
because
and he said
I
that
don't,
to us, remember? At the viewing, he was like,
yeah,
I told her to scream," when we were all there for Shell's viewing, and we're
yeah.
like and you were like, "I don't know how to scream into, like, a pillow, like, I just don't
Yeah,
know."
I don't know how to do it. I've been the one always my mom is the same way, and even that week, like, I was like, "Whoa, lady." She was like, "You're not gonna speak at the funeral, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I am. That's my friend." And she's
Mhm.
like, "Nah, you're not gonna be able to. You're gonna break down and cry." And I'm like, "So?"
Yeah.
And I did it
So
anyway, and that I had to, like, give her grace, like, I got pissed off
mhm.
like, a little bit, but I have to give her grace because I was just like, this is how they were raised.
Yes, this is the
And
mentality.
yeah,
Mhm.
and they instilled that a little, like your mom instilled that into your sister. I felt like that was instilled. I was always the quiet one, always I'm angry. Nobody knows
Mhm.
when I'm angry. Nobody knows when I'm sad. Like in front of people, like you would not know what my emotions are
Mhm.
unless you were like someone close to me.
Yeah.
But it's when I explode. And that's
Mm.
why I'm going to therapy.
And that's the dangerous part, you don't wanna explode, but I think that's another good
Yeah.
segment for us to have, like, breaking generational curses, because, again, like, my mom said that to my sister, but when my mom was talking to me about it, and I was like when I got pregnant and I was like, "Oh, no, if I'm having a childbirth, I'm gonna have a doula, I'm gonna have a midwife, like, I'm having it at home." They were just like,
Mhm.
"¿Qué?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Usted lo en Santo Domingo se hizo así." Like, my dad was born under a tree en el campo.
Mhm.
Like, midwives and doulas, that's what it was back in the day until, like, hospitals kinda came around and shifted the mentality, but I was like, "I want a peaceful birth. If I wanna scream, I'm gonna scream.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna stay quiet." I was like, "And I just want me, my partner, and the doula and the midwife there. I don't want anybody else, just us." I wanted to create like that safe space where I was able to like scream and be okay and not think about
Yeah.
like, "Oh man, my mom is saying que me calle." Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Or
And
looking at me crazy while I'm trying to push
mhm.
out a whole turkey. Like,
Yeah. No, that's the thing going back to like the whole grief thing and feelings, like you have to feel your feelings
yes, yes,
because built up feelings I I'm a big believer that built up feelings turns into diseases, into cancer,
yes,
into
yes.
like all these autoimmune diseases and that's
Hmm.
why like I've changed my lifestyle so much because I'm just like I'm a huge believer. I don't want to end up there. Like, God
Yeah,
God has a plan
I
for
believe that.
everyone, but if
Hmm.
I can avoid it, I'm gonna
Yes.
try every single thing to keep myself calm, like,
I'm telling you, I think the next segment should be breaking generational curses. We can talk about therapy because that's another thing that, like, as Latinos, like, we're told, like, and even in other communities, right? Like, we're always told, like, oh, therapy, like, why are you going to pay for somebody to tell you how you
like, this
feel? And
is
it's like,
therapy for
nah,
me, just
yes, this is
talking,
therapy.
yeah.
Exactly. Therapy can look different to other, to different people. So I feel like that's
Mhm.
another good one that we can kind of showcase, like when it comes to, being able to speak out using therapy, like what different types of, things you're doing that, your mom wasn't able to do, or your parents, or your tia,
Mhm.
or your abuela, you know what I mean? Because our parents have like, have a lot of things that they had to deal
A
with, but
lot.
we're not even talking about our grandparents. Like our grandparents, like you said, they lived through like the Trujillo era, right? They worked. We had
And they
some that
had,
actually
like,
worked
15
for
kids.
him. Yes, and they have 15 kids and they went to work. They were quiet, they were cooking, they were ganándose el pan de cada día. And I think we also don't give our grandparents enough grace, right? Like the fact that my grandfather just celebrated his 99th birthday, and it's wild to
Mhm.
see like him and my grandmother. And it's like, think about how many decades these two people have seen together. And then also like, you know, the fact that they did live
The
through the Trujillo
struggles,
area and the struggles and like not having money, but and having to feed 15 kids and like trying to be there, but not having the time or the enough love, depending because again,
mhm.
postpartum wasn't like a thing back then, right?
And
So it's just crazy.
yeah, and you saying that, I'm like, we're here talking about grief of, like, things you lose as a parent, right?
Mhm.
I'm curious to know, like, they had their grieves, but
Mhm.
also social media makes us feel like we're missing out on a lot
Yes.
of things, and they didn't
Yes.
have that. So to them, it was like whatever little world they lived in, which I think
Exactly.
it's so healthy. Like, if I can go back to living that way, like, honestly, I would.
I loved it.
Just
I loved being
super
up not.
simple.
Yes, I feel like we're so blessed that we grew up as millennials where in high school we didn't have social media. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like in middle school we didn't have social media. College we didn't have social media. Like we were on the on the cusp of Facebook in college, right? But you needed
Mhm.
a college email to even have Facebook.
Yeah,
So
yes.
it was a different type of
And
Facebook.
NYU was, like, the first school that had it, I remember that,
Exactly,
yeah.
and it had it, and I remember when I even signed
Mhm.
up for Facebook for my first time, I needed my St. John's, email address, and you had to confirm that you were a student there. So it was a different type of social media, like, I'm so blessed that we
And
did
even
grow up.
MySpace was more,
Yes, MySpace was
creative
more
and music
creative.
and,
We were coding. We were
yes,
coding on MySpace, y
coding
después
before other people like,
like, it just blows our mind. The type of social media that we had as millennials was completely different, and I think this is
mhm,
why I'm so grateful that we did grow up in that type of generation because we didn't have to deal with the things that kids deal nowadays. Like, I would not wanna be
mhm.
a middle schooler or even a high schooler within
It's
social
so
media world.
hard.
It is horrible, and, like, having to have a phone and, like, "Oh my god, like, I need to have be on TikTok and do this and that." As a 10-year-old, you shouldn't that shouldn't even be you shouldn't even have that. That shouldn't even be
You know,
part of your equation.
that's what worries me sometimes because,
Ugh.
as a mom to 8-year-old, there are kids in his class that have cell phones and
¿Por qué? ¿Por qué?
they have all these apps. They also play, like, my son doesn't have a cell phone. He has one of those watches where
Yes,
the only people he calls is me and his dad if there's
for
an emergency,
emergencies.
or if he's going on
Exactly,
a school trip, I know exactly where he's at,
which is
which
great.
gave me a
Like
scare yesterday, by the way, and that's a story for another day. But um it's just like I don't understand getting
same.
a phone for a kid that has all these apps, all these things that you cannot control. Like, parents say, "Oh,
Yes.
I look through my kids' phones," but kids are so sneaky.
Kids are so
So,
smart.
like, yeah, they're so smart. You hear me? Oh,
Yes, yes.
um, like, they're so sneaky, and then I just wish that parents were like, "Okay, let's work together to make this a better
Mhm.
world and
Yes.
make our kids' mental health more healthier."
Mhm,
And just
mhm.
like, instead of giving them iPhones, yeah, we
No,
want to
give them a
keep track
Nokia
of them.
phone.
Give them like one of those phones, yeah, like a flip phone, a
Yeah.
dumb phone. That's what they're,
They
yeah.
have those yeah, they have those phones
And
where
they
it's
still
like they
have
have
them
no apps.
$20 a month.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you're also not paying like extra high bills, and your kid's mental health is better than someone who's
Mhm.
constantly scrolling. Like if it damages
Yeah.
us as
As
adults,
adults. Yeah.
imagine what it does to kids.
And a kid does not need an
And
iPhone. Let's be serious.
exactly. They don't, and
What
but
are
it's
they
sad,
doing?
like, people want, their kids to one up the next kid, like, that's what it is, it's a competition. But I'm not falling for
Mm-mm.
that. I care about my kid's mental health, and as much as he stopped asking me for a phone, but at 7, he was
Mhm.
asking me for an iPhone, and I'm like, "There is no way. You're always with me or in school."
Number 1, 7-year-old, you're not getting an iPhone.
Yeah,
At
no,
my
but
first phone was a Nokia little small little phone, and that was
exactly.
my
Like those little
graduation present.
Samsung.
Yes, that my Nokia, when that was my
Mhm.
graduation present when I graduated 8th grade to have, like, a little phone to go to high school because we went to Spelman and it was nowhere near the house. So it's like we had to
Yeah,
take
and
the
we had to
bus.
take public transportation.
Exactly. We had to
Yeah,
take bus to over there. We had to take 2 different buses. So we little Nokia, all I can do is play snakes on it, okay? Like, and text.
yeah.
And you had to wait till after 9 p.m. to even text or call somebody, okay? That's another thing. Like, we didn't have this like free world of texting and calling people during the day. Like, you had to wait till nine
Beepers.
o'clock.
I went to high school when
And I had a
beepers
beeper.
were
Yes, yes. I had my little pink beeper too. Like, it was
and the
such
phones
a
were
different
prepaid, so it
world.
was like you
Yes.
knew you couldn't be talking on the phone for such a long time. You had to wait to get home.
Uh-huh. And my dad did not play that. Like, I remember one year
Mhm.
I ran up a phone bill talking to my boo, and I spent all of summer at 15 legit working summer camps and to pay off my little Nokia phone because I really thought
Mhm.
that after 9 o'clock, like it was free. But the thing is, it restarts. I never knew that. Like it restarted after like 8 o'clock or something like that. Y yo de freca. So I'm like, that's a story that my dad says to this day. He's like, "Oh, remember when you did this and that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I remember. I worked the entire summer. Like every paycheck, I
Yo,
had to give it to my dad." That there's no accountability anymore for kids. I think
and
that's
I
the other
love that. I
reason.
love that
Yeah.
that your dad did that because
Oh, my
the
dad was
other
not
day
playing.
my son got in trouble. Guess what we did? You were writing what integrity means
Cheers.
on a loose
Cheers.
leaf back and forth. And he's like, "Why am I doing this?" I'm like, "You are going to learn what this means.
Mhm.
And this is what happens when you're not doing the right thing when you think
Mhm.
people are not looking."
Yeah, I
And
think
he
that's
did
another
it. He
thing. That's
sat
good.
there and he was huffing and puffing. And I was just like,
Oh well.
it worked for me. So it's going to work for you.
Yeah, I think accountability as parents, we have lost it. Like again, as me
Mm-hmm.
raising a toddler, like a mí me duele, like that. It hurts my heart when we have to discipline Asher and he's crying and stuff like that. But these kids are so smart. Like the minute we're like, okay, do you understand? And he's like, yes, I'm gonna be nice like Thomas, because he's into Thomas the Train. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, so you're gonna be nice like Thomas. Like, yes, I'm gonna be nice like Thomas. The minute we're like, okay, you can get up from your timeout or whatever it is. He's fine. He's back to normal. He's like, "Mama, hi," and I'm like, "These little
Yeah.
kids." Like, so it's like I want to find a balance of the way my parents were with us, then and like reality now, right? So that I
Yeah.
think is finding that balance of how we're gonna make sure that our kids are good people,
Mm-hmm.
that they don't get sucked into the whole social media world, or like, oh, this person has the Jordans. Oh, I need the Jordans. And it's like,
Exactly.
no, I had to work for my first pair of Jordans. And after that,
Same.
I never got Jordans again until I was in college because
Mm-hmm.
I was scarred for life. I was scarred for life. My entire paycheck went to,
$115.
yep, my whole paycheck, summer, like that year, because I've been working since I was 14 at summer youth. So I was like, I wanted
Same.
Jordans, and my dad was like, I'm not paying for them. If you want them, you work and you buy them. I bought them. After I wore them a few times, I was so over them because I was like, I have no money. I spent all my summer youth money, and
That was me. I spent it on
yeah,
sneakers.
and
I
I didn't
did.
get another pair till I was in college because I was like, this ain't it. This is not for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think is showing our kids accountability. It's big, and I feel like that could be another segment. I know we're
Yes.
jumping around a lot, but I
Yes.
think it's
We
good
have
for us.
ADHD.
Yes, this is the beauty of this podcast, right? We're super transparent. We're doing this in the middle of the day. Like we're making sure we're like using the fact that the house is quiet for the next like for the hour. But
Mhm.
again, like we're talking about grief and how we lost ourselves after, after having a kid and, but at the same time, it's like we're still moms. And I think it's funny how we just kind of reverted back to like what we're doing with our kids to make them
Exactly.
better human beings. We're not doctors. We're not psychiatrists.
We're just
This is
trying to
just
figure it
us.
out just like you.
Exactly. We're trying to figure it out and
Mhm.
no pa' que nadie lo coma. Pa' que nadie
Yeah.
lo coma. This is what's working for us and this is what we're trying to do. But
Yeah.
yeah. Oh.
So we're gonna go back to what grief actually looks like. So
Mhm.
sometimes it doesn't look like crying all the time. Sometimes you're just numb.
Yes.
And I found myself so many times like feeling that way, like just feeling like nothing excites you. You ever felt
Mhm.
that way?
Oh my
Like
god,
it's such a
yes.
sad place to be, but it happens. And one thing I would say that what works when you do feel like that is just finding time to do something that gives you joy. Like, don't think about your
Mhm.
kids, don't think about your partner, don't think about anybody else. Just think about so if reading a book for 10 minutes, a novel gives you joy,
Yeah.
watching Emily in Paris, go do
Mhm.
it. Uh, Freaking eating a whole thing of ice cream,
Do it.
do it. Do it.
Do it.
Like something like get that excitement back because
Yeah.
it's
That
such
happens.
a yeah.
That happens to me a lot. Like, I just get restless. I felt this last night. I just felt so restless because I'm taking time off of working after being at my corporate job for 7 years. And I felt like such a failure last night. And I was just like, even though I'm doing, things for like the podcast and I'm doing, gymnastics class yesterday with Asher and doing swimming
Mhm.
and, kind of doing things for him, right? I'm like, the podcast is what I have for
You're not
myself.
pouring yourself yeah,
Yeah,
you're not pouring stuff like pouring
even
into
though yeah.
yourself.
So even though I'm doing, like, the podcast stuff during the day, I'm just, like, trying to figure out ways for more people to get to know us, and but I felt like such a failure because 'cause I'm like, "Oh my god, I feel so restless, like, I feel like I'm not doing enough. I feel like a bum." And Manny was like, "You literally just had a whole day, like, of things that you were doing." And I was like, yeah, I was like, but again, I think I'm just so used to being fake busy. You know what I mean? Like you have those busy days and then you have those days when you're in corporate where you have
Yeah.
fake busy days where you're in the office, you're doing emails, you're having a call here
You're
and
on
there, but
autopilot,
you're
that's the
yeah, but you're
thing.
on yes, yes, you're on autopilot. So I think
Mhm.
I'm so used to being on autopilot that I forget what it felt to not be on autopilot. And that makes you
That
feel like you're a
happens to me.
failure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I recently, about 2 years ago, I was working so much. I was bartending, doing
Mhm.
project management, experiential marketing, which is something I love, and being a social media manager for 3 medical brands, and being a
Mhm.
mom. And I don't know how, like, my head just didn't explode with all of
Yeah.
that, but at the same time, the doctor's office decided to bring in somebody in-house, which happens as a
Mhm.
freelancer.
Yeah.
Um, I decided I didn't wanna bartend anymore because I didn't like how I was being spoken to or how I was treating like I was less than people
Mhm.
when that's another story. And, um, and then what else? Uh, Things just started slowing down, like really slowing down.
Yeah.
And usually, by the end of the year, things do slow down for some businesses. And I was expecting to pick right back up in March.
Mhm.
It didn't pick up. And 2 years later, like literally things have been like sprinkling in. And I fell into like a depression, but I wasn't aware that it was because I wasn't doing anything, and I
Yeah.
felt like that, like a failure, like a loser, because I didn't know how to just chill. And it's
Mhm.
now that I'm like learning how to chill, learning how to go with the flow. And to tell you the
Oof.
truth, I get more done this way. When I'm not feeling like I'm failing or whatever, like I'm
Yeah.
more intentional. So it takes a while to get to where I'm at now. So I would
Mhm.
like to say to give yourself grace because it does. It's like it's the body, the nervous system just coming down from just being
Mhm.
on all the time and working all the time. So it's something just that you just have to like get used to little by little.
Yeah. I need to remind myself of that, like, give myself grace, and the fact that it does take time.
Hmm.
It's been less than a month, and I think that's what it is. I think now it's, like, kinda, like, hitting me, and I'm like, "Oh my god." Like, I'm freaking out. I'm like, "What did I
Yeah.
do?" But no, it's true. You gotta give yourself grace, and I think I just have to, like, breathe through it and be like, "It's okay." It's your body just kinda like you said, like, your
Mhm.
nervous system kinda going back to normal and getting off of like, turning off that autopilot switch, and it's like, "You're good, girl. You're good."
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to fill up your entire day to feel like you're doing
Exactly.
something, you know? I think that's
Exactly.
also social media does it to you, you know what I mean? You're like, "Oh, damn, this person is doing all this stuff," but everything looks so nice on social media, and then you're like, "Oh, no, they're definitely this is not the world."
Mhm. I
Ah,
agree.
okay. Man, man, man. I was gonna say, what else? Are we getting into our, like our
Let's
mommy confessions, or what do you want to get into?
let's get into our mommy confession.
Yeah. Oh,
This
quickly though,
uh-huh.
before you go into mommy confessions, tell viewers what mommy confessions is and where they can send their mommy confessions to us.
Yeah.
And we'll do this segment, you know, every week moving forward. Depending on, on what mommy confessions we get, we can be anonymous or we can tell, our viewers your name.
So we actually got this DM. We keep them anonymous because
Mhm.
they're mommy confessions.
Mhm.
Um, and we asked the question of like, what is something like that you're grieving? So this
Mhm.
person said, my confession is that I grieve my marriage every single day and I'm still
Mhm.
in it. We're not bad people. We love each other, but somewhere between the second baby and the bills, exhaustion, we stopped being us. Oh, I grieve that my eyes are going. I grieve the couple we were before kids, the spontaneous trips, the long
Mhm.
dinners, the way we used to look at me. The way he used to look at me like I was the only person in the room. I don't know
Mm.
how to get her back. I don't even know if she exists anymore, and I've never said this out loud to anyone until right now.
Oof.
I
First
feel
of all,
like,
kudos to that
yeah,
mommy for
I feel
actually desahogándose and telling us.
yes, and
Thank
just
you.
like sharing and
Mhm.
just making us feel like we're not alone, because I feel like a lot of people do go through this,
Yes,
and
I feel like I'm going through it. I always go through
yeah,
this, especially after
especially
having
when
a
your kids
toddler.
are, like, a lot smaller, because the focus is
Yeah.
on the kids a lot of times. But I will
Mhm.
say, as someone who feels like I'm getting over that period in my
Mhm.
life, um, I feel like couple therapy does work,
Mm.
and I also feel like when you guys start understanding each other and communicating, you do get those moments back. Like you
Mm.
do start looking at each other the way you guys used to. Um, like everything it gets back to normal eventually, because at
Yeah.
the end of the day your kids grow up and they
It's
leave.
only you. Yep, and it's you and your partner who are left.
Yes, so it's very
So,
important
yeah.
to like do what you can. I know it's hard to like go on dates and stuff like
Yes.
that, but
Yeah.
just do what you can, even if it's like sitting in front of the TV when the kids go to sleep and
Yeah,
get
and put
watching
away
a
your phone.
show.
Yes,
Yeah.
and put away your phone. I think that's what my biggest thing is, like, whenever, like, Asher goes to bed, like, me and Manny, sometimes we'll just sit on the couch. Sometimes we'll have those nights where we'll be talking and we'll be like, "Oh, we wanna do, like, a to-do list for the week." Like, we
Mhm.
do to-do lists for the week. We set up a menu for the week. But then there's also those times where we're, like, both on our phones just, like, doom scrolling because we just need to, like, come
Yeah,
down from the
decompress, yeah.
decompress from the overstimulating day, but it's true, like, take the time with you and your partner and go and have coffee or like if the kids are in school, you know what I mean? Go and have like a day date and have
Mhm.
lunch. Like I think sometimes we get stuck in like that roommate phase, especially like when you have a younger child.
Yes.
We went through this when Asher was a few months old, where it's like my sole attention was on Asher, where it was just kind of like, cool, you're going to bed? Yep, I'm going to bed. I'm exhausted from the day. Like it was
Mhm.
just more like where we're like passing each other. Right. So
Yeah.
I think it's just like you
It's
said,
something
like
that's
reminding
normal.
yourself. Yeah, it's normal.
Yeah.
And I think like you said, I ran like reminding yourself that again, like it does pass, it does get better as long as you have someone that's willing to work with you and who's willing
Yeah.
to communicate with you. Right. And not just kind of be like, oh, she doesn't want me anymore because the baby is her
Exactly.
sole thing. And it's like, no, like we as mom, you're going through so much, like your hormones, your like anxiety, you're a new person. You have to take care of this little
It's so much to
thing.
pay attention to
Yes. Mhm. Yeah, so I think it's
that by the end of the day you're just like your brain is literally off
yeah,
without
your
you
brain is
knowing.
mush. You're like, "Oh, I'm
Yeah.
tired." But I think it's that, just making sure that you're making time for yourself even in the morning before the baby wakes up or if your kids go to school, like set up a weekly like to-do list for you guys. And if you are able to have like a babysitter or have like your mom watch the baby, like plan out those monthly dates. I think that's another thing.
Mhm.
Like just find the time to do like date nights for you and your like person where you're like you guys can get to like talk about the baby, right? Because at
Mhm.
the end of the day, we're always going to talk about our kids, but also like be like, how have you been feeling? Like, how's work?
Mhm.
How's life? Like, how are you? Like, how are you
And
really
it
as a
doesn't have
person?
to be like those $200 dinners because I know she
Yes.
mentioned bills. So,
Yeah.
like,
Grab a
go
coffee.
into the city, take a walk,
Yes.
you know,
Sit down by the High
or
Line.
make coffee
It's
at
free,
home and just put it in a cup and just
and
go
keep it
take a
moving.
walk. Like, if
Yes.
you bought coffee from somewhere, like,
So
there's
true.
so
Yep.
many different ways. Um, so we're going to leave this episode. It's been a
Yes.
long one, but a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank
And
you for the Mommy
yes,
Confessions. If you have Mommy Confessions, please feel free to DM us or email us at uptownmommiesnyc@gmail.com and we'll read these weekly. But yeah, this was a good episode.
yes, definitely, definitely. And you can find us on Spotify, Apple,
Amazon
Amazon,
Music, iHeart,
YouTube, iHeart. So
everywhere. We're
yes,
everywhere.
talk to you later.
Bye.